Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Jake Jaboreli of Jaboreli.com. Just a bunch of referral links. Well, I've gotten a lot of interesting comments lately and I want to talk about them. This video is dedicated primarily to the passive income sources that I have invested in the last month plus. I've gotten a couple of requests from viewers and subscribers as to my favorites. But I want to kind of start this out like a warning or an advisement, even though all this is for entertainment purposes only. I am not an advisor, and I feel bad that I have to say that out loud. But there's a weird thing, at least in the United States, where people will accuse and sue, litigate, take to court those people who do not say explicitly out loud in their videos or in a statement somewhere that the content of their videos is literally for entertainment purposes only, even if they really do want someone to do the thing they're saying in the video. They still have to say, don't sue me, this is for entertainment. I realize I might sound sarcastic with that commentary, and it is somewhat intended to be that way, but the what's termed cover your butt policy is something that is sadly needed, I have perceived, in this experience. So I'm trying to be clear. My advice on these videos is for entertainment, but I think I would also like to predicate that statement with none of these investment opportunities are really investment opportunities. They're a place to put your money, but you should not be putting your core money, and what I mean by core money is money that you need to live on, or money that you have had saved up for years and plan to retire on. Please, 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 please do not put that money into these investment opportunities or these high yield investment programs, HYIPs. That's not what these are for. You can do with your money as you please. If you want to spend your money frivolously, that is, without regard to what will probably happen to it. But I implore you, I plead with you, please do not put more than you are willing to lose into any of these programs I'm going to talk about. So, there's Finalmente Global, Passive.Expert, Speedbit, and the most recent Gold 8. All of these are high yield investment programs. Finalmente Global tends to, if you can read this, I'm going to expand it here. I'm sorry if you are on a small screen. I'm going to read it out. This I've been planning with the Uno Classic on Finalmente Global. It's 107 or roughly 1% per day, 107% per week. So they give you your total investment back plus 7%, or as I recently upgraded to 107.6%. It's not a whole lot more. It's like 1.1% per day. Passive.Expert, which is actually less than the rest of them by a little bit, tends to go somewhere between 0.7 and 0.8. They say they give you a range between 0.5% and a full percent. I've only gotten exactly in between that the entire time I've been doing this, which is a little over a month. So you can see that I put US $10 in, and I've gotten roughly 25% back, slightly more than that now, but it's been more than a month. So this is the slowest. It takes about 4 months to double your money. This one also is about 2.5 months to double your money. It depends also on how much you start with, but it's roughly that. Speedbit originally started out with 6% per day, which meant you could double your money in 2 weeks, slightly more than 2 weeks. Now they've reduced that to 3% per day. And so your double your money time is a month, slightly more than a month, 34 days. And then Gold 8, which has a range, depending upon how much money you put in, anywhere from 2% per day upwards to 3.5% per day. I guess the one major thing that I like better about Gold 8 over all the other ones, except for maybe Finalmente, is that they do compounding. Because Finalmente will let you do compounding, but it's not automatic. So here you have to reinvest every week. You have to go back in there and create a new plan. whereas Gold 8 will just let you automatically reinvest your money. And I've only been doing it, as you can see here, 5 days. Not a whole lot of time. The rest of these, I only discovered Gold 8 recently, so didn't have a chance to really dedicate. But if I'd found them all at once, I would have put money into them all at once. And as you can probably tell, I am not doing a lot of money. I did 0.002 as a starter here for Gold 8. It's about $20 US. Not a lot of money, in my opinion. I only put 0.001 Bitcoin into Speedbit. I've already got my investment out. I had a video for that. I can add it in the description below if you want to see it. So yes, I've been paid. I got my money back from Speedbit. So in my opinion, I've already accomplished the goal that I wanted to. I mean, yes, it'd be nice to double my money, but at this point, I have $0 invested in Speedbit because I already got my money back. And to me, that's the best way you can do this. If you want to put money in, make the quote investment that will get you something in the future. Take the money out as soon as you possibly can. This is what are they called? Angel investors tend to do if they can. They'll give you the monster investment. You'll make money off of that. They'll get their initial investment out if they can as soon as they can, and then everything after that is free for them. So the same thing would go here, but it'd take 4 months to do it with Passive.Expert. It wasn't that way in the beginning, but it is now, because as a high yield investment program increases in popularity, the ability for them to repay becomes more and more difficult. And that's the reason, in my opinion, and if you've seen a lot of other high yield investment programs in the past, they just kind of disappear. Because at some point, either they realize they have enough money that they can steal it from you and no one will care, because there's no guarantees. I mean, Passive.Expert at least and Finalmente Global have both shown you who they are. The Passive.Expert guy, Lee Merritt, has done interviews. He lives in the UK, as far as we know. Same thing with Kobus from Finalmente Global. If you've ever watched the videos, if you've participated with Finalmente Global, you can see that they are. He's tried to be as upfront and forthcoming with all of the subscribers to his program as he possibly can. So it is the intent, I can tell, with these people to try to be honest and try to be, clear and upfront and transparent with their constituents. Now, if there is one with Speedbit, never heard of it, never seen a video, don't really get much feedback from this company, but they did pay me, so maybe it works. I can't guarantee that will be true forever. And then Gold 8 has gone out of their way to try to give you as much information as possible. They have a support service. If you wait on here long enough, they'll pop up a help panel. You can talk to the people through the support service. They have all kinds of accreditation documentation. Whether or not that stuff is real, I have no idea. I don't even have a way of verifying it. So Gold 8 seems to want to really get your trust, probably as much, if not more so, than the other groups, with Speedbit being the exception. But as far as my favorites, which is kind of the whole goal of this plan, or this video, at this point, I would say Finalmente is the one I have the most confidence in. I would predicate that, instead of saying it's my favorite, I would say least likely to fail in the near future. Finalmente Global is, in my opinion, the least likely to fail in the near future. I could be completely wrong about that, but everything I've seen and watched videos, it would seem to say there that Finalmente Global is probably the better investment. I would also say that a lot more people seem to have put more money into it. Does that mean it's ultimately better? No, but it seems like more people trust it. Now, does that mean it guarantees it will be around? No, because lots of people have trusted Bernie Madoff in the United States, and he took billions of US dollars from people. He was legit, according to the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, but it turns out he was not. So is it possible that any company can take your money? Yeah, even ones that are considered to be legitimate. So I would say always play with money you're willing to lose. Do not play with your core. The example I gave earlier with the Bernie Madoff thing in the United States, Uh, people put their entire life savings into his fund and lost everything they had, all their money. You know, retirees, teachers, you know, average work people, construction people, just the normal people, and then people who were expecting to live on that money indefinitely, and they lost it all. So I would say that's no less true with these programs. I'm sure that these people would like you to put as much money as you can in. I am telling you not to do that because you don't know if they're going to be around in a year. If they are, great. But then by that point, per all my previous videos that I've made, you should have made a lot of money. That's the reason I start my video out with the high yield investment chart here. Let me show you. Showing you how much money you can make from each one of these sites and how long does it take to double your money. If they stick around for that amount of time, then you make a lot of money. So if you put in a tiny amount and you get a lot back, how is that bad? Yeah, it takes longer, but at least you don't lose your money. And that's what I'm trying to stymie. I'm trying to stop the subscribers to my channel and the viewers of my channel from being screwed over. I don't want you to lose. I mean, it is in my benefit, and this is the thing that bugs me about so many people on YouTube and the internet in general, where they're coming up with their plans, they're coming up with their statements about how you can make so much money with their plan, or so much money with their program. If they're being truly honest, they should just leave. My whole channel's name is just a bunch of referral links. I know I'm making money. I'm admitting it up front to everyone. At the beginning of my video, it's just a bunch of referral links. Yes, I benefit from this, but I'm doing it myself. But I'm also not putting in thousands and thousands of dollars into it. So I was trying to be as honest as I possibly could, and I realized a lot of other people put up the face of honesty in their videos to try to get you to trust them, and then they turn their back on you. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I'm trying to divulge the math behind this program so that you can see what's actually going on. And the reason I call these things impossible, and the reason I had so much disdain and doubt for this, and you got so much negative feedback from the people who are using Finalmente Global in one of my earlier videos, was because they honestly believe it's legit. Yes, people are getting paid back from it. Does that mean it's going to be able to continue on indefinitely? No, because if it was, everyone would be doing it. And yes, there are a lot of people doing it, but the whole world can't. It's impossible. You can't get those kinds of gains. So anything that's too good to be true usually is too good to be true. Can it work in the short run? Yes, it can. Does it work forever? No, it does not. Even established banks that have been around for 100 plus years don't always last. So it's always important to me to make sure that when I'm telling you about a program, that it is clear to you, I hope, that you need to be always aware of where you're putting your money and what you're primarily investing in. So yes, Finalmente Global is probably the most trustworthy one. After that, I would say Gold 8. Although after watching the video of Passive.Expert, I would say they do seem highly dedicated to making sure that they can continue to pay their investors. But the interview was a little bit sketchy even to me, and so it kind of made me go, I'm still not going to put more money into this than I started with. I realized it's going to take me a long time to double my money with Passive.Expert, but I'm not willing to put more than 100 or more than 10 US in right now, if ever. And I know I've felt like I should put more, particularly into Gold 8 because of its ability to do auto reinvesting. And I guess the best way to just show it is to just show it here in the HYIP chart. I started with this, but let's say we started with 2. I don't have 2. I don't think a lot of people have 2 to invest with, but let's say we did. The point here is to make money back as quickly as possible, and no matter how much you put in, you're still going to get the same amount, I mean percentage wise, back, not dollar wise. But in order to double your money on any one of these programs, it's going to be 5 weeks. It's faster with higher amounts because you get a higher interest rate. So actually, it's more like 3 weeks for anything more than 5,000 US dollars. But if you had this initial amount of roughly 20,000 US dollars, there are a lot of better things to put it in my honest opinion. So, but that you could probably find in the country in which you live. Maybe they're not as trustworthy. I don't honestly know what it's like to live in Taiwan or in India or in Malaysia. I don't know how trustworthy or untrustworthy the banks are in those countries, so I can't speak to that level. But I know from experience, per my example about the Bernie Madoff thing earlier, that was in the US and that was still not trustworthy. I mean, the term Ponzi scheme literally comes from the US. It might not be a US based person. He was an Italian guy, I believe, but or maybe he's a Cuban, I don't remember. I just know that he was in the US when he did it, and so the concept, even though the concept of a Ponzi scheme has existed before the guy for which it was named, but he was the one that was most famous for it. But still, that came from the US. So, yeah, we've had our fair share of idiots and people who are trying to swindle you from your money. So, I'm just trying to get at that. As quickly as you can get your money out, get your money out. And then, if you want to put more money back in, that's your choice. But I'm trying to make a point that I'm trying to keep you from losing your money, if I possibly can. And like I said, some of this is going to me, because as it is with referral links, if I refer you to this company, they pay me for that referral. So yes, I benefit from this. But I mean, I'm doing this because I like math, and I'm doing this because I want to help people. And I'm not making a whole lot of money off of YouTube right now, actually none. So the ideal of trying to divulge my inner thoughts here was to help people and help myself at the same time. But I don't want anyone to lose in this, including me. So I want to try to be as clear and forthcoming as I can. So to answer the question that originally came up from my subs and my viewers, yes, Finalmente Global, then Gold 8, probably tied with Passive.Expert, and then Speedbit last. Like I said, I've already been paid by Speedbit, but do I trust them? No. Even though I've been paid. If they stick around for 6 months, I will be really impressed. And I will say so. I will make a video like, look, it's been 6 months since I started with Speedbit, and they still exist. You know, if they're still at 3%, that'll be even more amazing. But at this point, I can't say that any of these, with maybe the exception of Finalmente Global, will be around in a year from this time. Let's say a year from when I started at the beginning of May. If they're all still here at the end of May, and I'm, let's say, at 2,000 subs, I will give every single one of my subs money. It probably won't be a lot because I don't have a lot to give. But actually, at that point, if they're all still around, I will have a lot of money to give because I will have made it from their investments. So let's see, how much, I know this video is going really long now, I'm sorry about that, but in 1 year, Speedbit, let's see, where is that, 365 right here. Okay, so based on my initial investment, in 1 year, does it have here? That was 0.01. Okay, I will have 1,000 US dollars. Yeah, I'll be able to afford to give some money. How about FMG? In 1 year, $5,000. Okay, and in 1 year with Gold 8, oops, this is the wrong amount. Yeah, 25,000. So that's 5,000, 25,000, and like 32,000 US dollars. Yes, I will have some money I can give to you guys. I will definitely have some money to be able to give to you guys. Every single one of my subscribers. If you have a Bitcoin account, I will probably give you a good amount of money. If all of these companies are around in a year. I can't say that's an absolute guarantee that I will, but I would. You know what? I should just do it. I think I'll probably make another video about this. But I'm going to say that if these companies are around in a year from now, let's say 11 months, not 1 full year, because I started, with the exception of Gold 8, in May of all these projects, if they're all still around and they're all still making money and they all can still pay me, I will pay every single one of my subscribers. Let's predicate that with, if I have 25,000 subscribers by that point, I don't think I'll be able to pay every single one of them more than a US dollar. But let's say if I have 2,000 subs by that point, I can give every single one of them 10 US dollars. And then, of course, then if those companies continue to exist, they can continue to have that money. So that's what it's a really long shot bet at this point. But I would be willing to make that bet. I would be willing to give up literally all the money I made off these programs to all those people if they still existed in that amount of time, because that's how confident I am that they will not exist in a year, with maybe the exception of Finalmente Global. So if my point is made by my analogy of giving all my money away to everybody at this end of this time is by that sense practical, then I think you can understand why I'm saying that you should not be putting your core money in. I hope that analogy is clear. I really sincerely hope that it is clear, because high yield investments are not sustainable. Because if you try to give, I mean, per this example, I think when I did this, one of my previous videos, if I put 1 Bitcoin in here, which is roughly 10,000 US dollars, 9,400, if 1,000 people did that, let's just multiply, let's just put this up to 1,000 Bitcoins. The total amount of money that they would have to pay out in a year is more money than exists in all of Bitcoin. The current value of all of Bitcoin is, if I can find it here, let's just look it up. Coin market cap, right? How much is Bitcoin worth right now? $172 billion. How much money do they say they're going to give out? 2 trillion. Impossible. 1,000 people put in 1 Bitcoin. Absolutely, completely impossible to do, because there isn't that much money in Bitcoin. Even in a year, I doubt it. I mean, how much would Bitcoin have to be worth for it to go up that? And if it did, then they'd still have to give you 1,000. It just can't happen. So, yeah. I think I hope I made my point. But please, if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments. If you like what I did, please thumbs up. I appreciate it. And like I said, we're still doing a giveaway. 1,000, 100,000 Satoshis, 50,000, and 25,000. 3 separate prizes to 3 separate subscribers on my channel. Remember, you need to be subscribed, and you will have to still be subscribed when we do the giveaway for it to work. And then I'll need your Bitcoin address at some point, so you can either email it to me or you can put it in one of the comments. I will find them all, because the whole point of doing this is to find them all. So when we finally do this, I'll make another video, a live stream or something of that sort, so everyone can join. Please put your comment, your Bitcoin address, so I can be able to pay you, and then we'll do it. So thank you for watching this ridiculously long video. I hope that it makes sense, and I'm so grateful my watchers and everyone involved. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.